Okay, we are now welcomed here in the Media Center by Tony Stewart, driver of the number 14 Mobile One Office Depot Chevrolet, who finished third in today's Cobalt Tools 500. Tony, talk a little bit about this race here today, going into Homestead next week, 3 points behind in the championship. It's between you and Carl. All other drivers were officially eliminated today. And going into Homestead, this is the third closest championship race going into the final race ever in the history of NASCAR.
Okay. I'm not thinking of that, but I mean, I'm just thinking of the 3 points. But no, we had an awesome day. I mean, we just came up 2 spots shy, but you know, I don't know how you could have asked for a better day, really. I mean, you figure we led the most laps. We were on the same pace we were last week, just to have a perfect day. But you know, just fought as hard as we could all day, and we got out of balance there the second to last stop, and just you know, lost that little bit that we needed to stay up there and keep Carl honest.
Okay, we're going to open up for questions here in the Media Center. Please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. We'll start right here with Shannon, come down to Tom, then Lewis.
Shannon Spake, ESPN. You know, the last couple of weeks, it literally has been you and Carl. It just lap after lap, just hanging on to each other. What is that like for you? Is this you've been racing a long time. Where does this rank as far as championship battles that you've been in?
Well, it's fun. I mean, it's everybody. You know, he's keeping me honest. I'm keeping him honest. You know, it's fun when we're first and second in the points, and we're running first and second on the racetrack the last 2 weeks. I mean, it shows why we're both in this position. But you know, we just got to keep doing what we're doing. I mean, we got to keep the pressure on. We got to go out. I mean, 2 weeks in a row we've led the most laps, so really proud of that. I'm proud of the pressure that we're putting on him, and you know, a lot can happen in 400 miles next week. So you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's a dead heat going in there. We just got to do our job like we've been doing, and you know, to have top three finishes in the last 3 weeks, I'm pretty proud of that. So you know, I'm still pumped up. I want to go to Homestead tomorrow and start. I want tomorrow to be Friday. I'm pumped up. I'm excited about it and ready to go. I don't know. I mean, shoot, after 31 years of racing, I've been through so many championship battles. You know, we've had some where we never won a race, and we were the third guy, you know, in the Silver Crown deal in '95. We were just mathematically in it, and we won it by 2 points the last race because the two guys in front of us, one blew up and one crashed out with like 15 to go. So I don't know. It's hard to rank anything. I mean, I'm not worried about where it ranks right now. I'm more worried about where I rank after Sunday next week.
Okay, we'll take our second question from Tom right here. Then we'll go to Lewis, Jenna, and Michael.
Hi, Tony. Tom Jensen, Speed.com. Congratulations. How do you handicap this going into it? Do either of you have an advantage?
I don't
either
think
of you
so.
have momentum?
Well, I think we both got momentum. I mean, we both had 2 really good weeks in a row. You know, I still think our mile-and-a-half program's come a long way this summer. You look at how we ran at Chicago and Kentucky, you know, Charlotte. Where we run Texas last week. I mean, we've been good on the mile-and-a-half, so I'm excited about it. I like Homestead. It's a place that we had a lot of success when it was flat, and we haven't got that win with at Bank, but I like the way that track races right now, so I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know where to handicap it. It doesn't matter to me. It's about getting 4 more points than he does, so that's all I care about.
Go ahead, Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis Frank Reuters. To borrow a phrase from last year, do you see any Jedi mind tricks in the next couple of days?
I don't even see any Jedis. So.
Any verbal throwdowns?
It doesn't matter. It's still going to matter what happens on the racetrack, so I don't think it really matters right now.
Okay, next question from Jenna.
Jennifer, AP. Tony, what will you do this week? Are you going to think about racing, or are you going to try to get away from it?
I've got a busy week. I mean, we've got, you know, Office Depot's headquarters are in Florida, so we've got a store appearance on Tuesday. We're going down to Office Depot's campus in Boca Raton on Wednesday, so we're going to have a pretty busy week, but that's kind of what I like. I mean, I'm better off being busy this week and going down to Florida early and getting ready.
Okay, well, now welcomed by Carl Edwards, driver of the number 99 Aflac Ford, who finished second in today's Cobalt Tools 500. Carl, if you would, just give us an opening statement. Going into Homestead, Tony's 3 points behind you. You're the only 2 left in contention. Everyone else was officially eliminated today. And as I told Tony, you're the third closest championship battle going into Homestead in NASCAR history.
That's cool. Couldn't ask for anything more. It's going to be fun. And it's neat to be able to go to Homestead and race it out. You know, I mean, I'm sure these guys are going to be good down there. They're fast on the mile-and-a-halves, and I love that place. So, just proud of my guys today. They did a great job on pit road. Tony was really fast, and we got our car tuned in, and we were able to go up there and race with them and compete. And that was just a good, hard-fought day, and just really pumped about Homestead. I think it's going to be a good time.
Okay, we'll take a question here from Michael, then we'll go downstairs and then upstairs for questions and come back.
Michael Knight, Arizona Republic, for both Tony and Carl, please. I'll let him have it. For both Tony and Carl, please. After all of the pre-race talk about and speculation about how the track would race, what are your thoughts on how the race actually did unfold, how the track did? And also, Tony, could you comment on your ability to pass on the outside line on restarts?
I mean, I think a bunch of the credit has to go to Randy LaJoy, Steve Grissom, Tim Fedewa, the guys that came earlier this week, Kimmel, the guys that came and ran the school cars. I think if it were not for those guys, we wouldn't have had a two-groove racetrack today. So, we got to thank those guys for getting that cleaned off and getting that base of rubber in there to where we could actually get up there and run the last couple days. So, I still wouldn't have changed the shape the way they did, but I guess the computers are smarter than the drivers these days. So, but I thought it was a good race. I mean, I didn't get to see all of it, obviously, from where we're at. We get to see just the part we're involved in, but you did have the flexibility to move up and down, and really that's all you can ask for. So I didn't think there was any dramas with it today.
Were you surprised you were able to pass on the outside on those restarts?
Yes and no. I mean, our car was a little loose on restarts, but it just seemed like we were actually better on the outside than we were on the inside. So, once the groove moved up and once they got rubber up there, I don't think it was a reason to be surprised. I mean, the racetrack was wide enough that you could run too wide then.
Carl, could you comment on the track, please?
Yeah, I think what Tony said is absolutely correct. All those guys, Knopfsinger, all those guys that came out here and spent that time, and I think that helped a ton. I think Brian Sperber recognizing that the issue that we were potentially going to have and addressing it like that was huge, and it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, it moved out, and the groove did. It got wider and wider, and I started to remember the old Phoenix. When I drive down there one slide up and catch some rubber, that was pretty neat. So I believe after it sits for a while, we come back here for the Subway 500 in the spring, and even a year from now, I think it's going to be awesome. I'm a convert. I was ready to put a tombstone up and say goodbye to the place, but I think it's going to be good.
Okay, we'll open up for questions downstairs.
No questions.
Okay, do we have any questions from the press box?
A question for Carl Edwards, Wolfgang Monza, Rennsport Press Agency. Carl, around lap 180, 90 till 210, 211, Tony was leading and you followed him, and I personally had the impression that watching it, you could go quicker. What is part of the strategy to follow him and study his driving style? And question number 2, what's the preparation for the last race? What did you do?
Yep, that's exactly what I was doing. I was just hanging out back there, keeping his blood pressure up, I was having fun. I mean, I think our car was a tick faster right then. I was watching what Tony was doing and searching around, doing what I could. Yeah, that was really fun. That was neat to be able to race like that. If it would have gone green from there, which I know the chances of that are virtually nil, but that would have been a fun race. I think we'd have battled it out, and you can't ask for anything more. I mean, the way this has turned out for us to be running 1-2 and racing hard like this for the last few races is pretty cool.
Okay, any final questions from the press box?
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Carl, given your success at Homestead, is there any place you'd rather have the season finale?
There's some dirt tracks I grew up on that'd be fine with me, but other than that, I think
I think we should do it then. Yeah. I'm all for changing it
if
to
we
a dirt
tie,
race.
we should go to one of the dirt tracks down there in Florida. That'd be pretty fun.
I've got one in Ohio we can use.
Not doing that.
Just saying. Okay. I got one in Kentucky we can use.
All right.
I got one in Illinois we can use too. But that's all I got.
That's why you got a busy week this week. Homestead's going to be a lot of fun. I really enjoy racing there. It's the cool thing about Homestead is that we're going to go there and you're going to be able to move around. You're going to be able to pass. You're not going to get hung up as badly in traffic as you could at other racetracks. And I think for the sport in general, I don't think there's a better place to go than Homestead to fight for this championship.
Any more questions from the press box?
No more.
Okay, we'll go with Dean, Shannon, Jenna, Jay, and David.
Dean McNulty, Toronto Sun. For both you guys, it's been a long time since the first and second in points drivers have battled not only for the win the last 2 weeks, but also in points. Can you talk a little bit about how that feels going into Homestead, and will there be any distractions?
I don't know what distractions you would be talking about, but it is kind of fun to be in this scenario where, you got guys that are 3 points apart, and last week we were running first and second in the race. Today, for a lot of the race, we ran first and second. So it does make it fun. I mean, we're both having to earn what we get. So no matter how it ends up next weekend, it's not going to have been given to you. We were going to have to definitely going to have to earn it and fight for it for sure.
Shannon.
Shannon Spake, ESPN. It's actually for both of you guys. We watch you come in and sit down next to each other after week of battling on the track. What is it like to sit down and have to talk about your race and talk about the chase next to the guy that you're battling?
We've been doing this how long together? I mean, it's no different. I mean, our demeanor isn't any different than we always are. It's you guys, and ESPN loves to try to build that crap in between everybody. So the total drama network for sure. So at least they're consistent about it. Everybody at ESPN's consistent about that. But I don't see it being any different than normal. So if you want, we can eliminate the chair if that would make you feel better. Okay,
everything's we're good. Here, I was going to sit down on it.
Well, here, don't let me pull it out when you try to sit down on it.
See what kind of guy he is. No,
I think that answers your question, though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Can you make sure that everybody at ESPN understands that going this week? So, thank you.
Thanks, Tony.